Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tactical Advisor Podcast. I'm Sterling, your Tactical Advisor. Today I'm with Robert Pipia and Mike Fowler. Today we're talking about building a life you don't need to vacation from. But we're talking about Robert Pipia today and the Blue Ridge Adventure Group, is that right?
Yeah, Blue Ridge Adventure Club. Thanks for the invite, by the way. I guess we could start with where I'm at in my life right now. I've been retired for a while. When I moved here to North Carolina and I rode motorcycles with a group of friends, they would take me to all these wonderful places, in the mountains that I've never seen before. And, bikers are kind of like, they'll drive to a place and they'll get there, they'll get off the bike and the stretch and go, let's go have a beer. And I'm like, well, wait, I want to go see if there's a waterfall. I want to see this stuff. Mm-hmm. So fast forward a couple of years later, once I retired, and talking with a friend who was visiting me here in North Carolina, I mentioned that to him and he said, you know what, let's go. The first hike we did, I think was like Linville Falls, fell in love with it. I just found that for me, being grounded in nature was definitely the place I should be in life.
And this is something you do in retirement. This is like your passion project, right?
Well, and consequently what happened through being, I'm on Facebook like most people, with other friends. As you accumulate friends and they see you go on all these adventures and that, people, the first thing they'll always say to you is, hey, the next time you go, let me know. And I'm like, I'm never going to remember to let you know, I'm going to do this all the time. And as it went on for a few months and I gained more friends who I could see the interest in people, they were like, that's cool, or I want to go, or wow, where is that? Questions about these locations I was going to. Someone had recommended that I start a Facebook group. And that's how the whole thing started. It didn't originally have that name, which is Blue Ridge Adventure Club. It was something else. I think it was Go Take a Hike or something like that.
Yeah, and I was looking on your page yesterday, and there's like 917 people in this group. That's quite a bit for just a social group, right?
So I do. I have I'm grateful I have a large following. I will say that of the 900 some odd people that are in the group, a lot of them are women. Women enjoy doing these type of activities. And so consequently, the photos for many of my events is always off balance, And
Speaking
so
of photos,
that would always be of interest to as you can see,
nice.
So kind of imbalance there, right?
There you got Andrea. You got Cash. Scout, those are my kids, right?
Yeah.
I'm in there somewhere. I guess. Oh, there I am, hiding in the back right corner.
In the back there.
Yeah,
and that consequently was just a very small event.
That was early on.
Through promotion of that, I started thinking about, it'd be great to have people to travel with because I love to travel.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did from there as well. Oh yeah, I remember that day well.
Yeah.
That's your son right next to us.
Yeah.
And that's a good mutual friend of ours as well. That's at the brewery. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that was at Oscar
DuPont
Blues.
State Forest. Yep.
That's the same day. Oscar Blues.
Yeah, I remember that.
With Cash mean mugging in the background.
That's a great day.
Yeah, we had a great day that day.
So we always
and then there's that's a little hard to see, but that's
Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain, yeah.
Which is right up near Elkin here.
You just did the lily thing again too in South Carolina, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Spider lily.
There's not much many places I don't go. Again, it tests your physical ability as well. People always saying, I need to get out and do more things healthy and physical. And I go, come on along. Give it a shot.
You're doing what most people don't have the opportunity to do, which is live how they want to live in retirement. What brought you here through your career of time to be able to do what you do?
That question can be answered pretty simply. In today's society, people feel like, they have to have everything. More is more of this, more of that, newer, better, and so forth. Over the years, what I've learned is less is more. It really is. So I don't live the glorious life with a new car every year. I live a very comfortable life, but I spend my money wisely.
What'd you do for a career?
I've been involved in one type of sales or another. I started off in business machines, which took me all across Canada for many years. My sales territory was Canada. And consequently, I met a Canadian girl, got married, and now I have a daughter and 2 grandchildren who are Canadian. So that began my whole sales career, but also my zest for travel, because seeing Canada many years ago in its infancy, it's not what it is today, was absolutely beautiful. It was untouched at that point.
Okay.
And so I promised myself at some point, I'd love to go back to these places. And consequently, that's what I do. Any place that I've ever had, I think the desire or, the interest. I mean, it's pretty simple. Again, I have almost 1,000 people in this group. And basically, I use the whole sales process with that. And there's that. I throw something up against the wall and put the idea out there. And if it sticks, let's put it on paper, right?
Okay.
And that's kind of what happens with the travel thing as well. And so the group has, grown from just being a local hiking group to international travel group. I've taken people to Italy, a group of 10 people to Italy.
You have one scheduled for the Amalfi Coast right now, right?
We started off in Rome, and then we were down to Sorrento. We did Capri, we did the Amalfi Coast, back to Rome for a few days, and then we even squeezed in a day in Tuscany. Every day, everywhere I would go, the Italian men would want to come over and talk to me and ask me, well, who are you? What do you do? Who are you? And I'm like, I'm just a guy. How is it you're surrounded by all these beautiful women? Kind of the same story I tell everyone. Women love doing this stuff. If more guys knew that, I think they would get involved in doing stuff like this.
So what do you think people misunderstand most about retirement and the financial freedom in retirement for you to do the things that you do today?
You've got to chase the things you love in life. You've got to chase the things that bring you the most happiness. Less is more. What brings me the most happiness? Does a new pair of shoes, a new car bring me happiness? Some people it does, or they feel it does, but it's short-lived. So I just dedicate my time now to doing what I love to do. And consequently, in my travels, I meet the most interesting people. And now, it's kind of like a rolling stone gathers no moss. Well, I get a lot of moss, okay, in my travels. I meet people everywhere I go. We become friends. We plan travel together. We meet up and do all kinds of, as one member says, we do epic things.
Yeah. You're more like a snowball than a rolling stone. You're gathering snow and getting bigger as you go along.
Right on. Right on. That's exactly the effect, and it brings me happiness. It gives me something to look forward to every single day, especially with the participation of members asking me questions and saying to me, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Last fall, I rented a house in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and we heard there's a huge apple fest every year that they hold down there. And this thing is between Blue Ridge, Georgia, and Illawarra, Georgia. I think I pronounced that right. I have a southern accent. Illawarra, there you go.
Great antique shopping. He said it right. Great antique shopping. I've been there. It's a nice little town.
I asked a million times, but I just couldn't,
My wife and I have quite the wanderlust too. We've got about 4 weeks of traveling scheduled this summer. So, but we've been to Illawarra, we've been to the lower Blue Ridge Mountains. South Carolina and Georgia is a nice little secret spot. We're actually heading to Lake Jocassee in about 2 weeks. Nice. So we've been there once, going back there again.
That's a cool place.
Clear waters. It's like a Jamaica in the South.
Awesome. There's not a bad place to go. Any direction you turn. What I find is, so I create this event. We'll sometimes rent these large houses, and so everyone stays in a kind of a communal situation there. And we travel. We do epic things, like as one member said a few weeks ago. We were in another part of Georgia, and we went there for a dam release. So we hiked down 1.5 miles into this gorge, and basically looked at this 100-foot waterfall that was like, that's not a waterfall. It was trickling off there. And then within a few minutes, you could hear this rumbling, and then millions of gallons of water come rushing over this, this side of this hill. And the wind and the effect, and it was incredible. All you heard was ooh ah, it was like, and people just loved it. So,
question for you: in between your grand adventures with your club and all the traveling you do, what does your ideal day look like now in retirement?
obviously, physical fitness is important.
Yep.
If you're not physically fit and mentally fit, you can't enjoy the beauty of life. So I do concentrate on that. So my day begins with, number one priority is to eat right, to get my mind in a good place. Like everyone else, something's bound to piss you off during the day, especially dealing with social media and, I don't know, some company billing you twice or whatever. But I do find having the adventure, the travel, the participation really grounds me. And it tells me I'm on my right path in life.
I love that. And then I have a question to ask you for the audience. So if someone listening feels stuck financially or personally, what's one thing they should start doing today?
Going back to what I say, I was in one form of business or another. I had some very wise people advise me in the years when I was making a significant money in some of my businesses. For instance, when I lived in New York after returning there, after not living there for 25 years, I found a niche, a direct marketing niche. And someone had said to me, I know somebody at an ad agency. I know someone who works at a big hotel chain, and they have all this printing and direct mail to do. Back pre 9/11, that was a big thing. We didn't have the internet. There was no way to connect with people, clients or potential people, other than printing it and sending it in a mail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought back
mailing.
on,
Yep.
yeah, right, that was
it.
And I thought back on some of my contacts and then talking to other people, and they said, hey, I know a guy that he's big printing company, or I know a guy that does computer data processing, or I know another guy who's got like an assembly where they'll stuff the envelopes, do all that kind of. Well, I went out and I visited all these people. I didn't have a single client at that point, but I said, let me ask you a question. If I came to you with, Millennium Broadway Hotel or American Airlines wanted to do a big campaign, would you be able to handle that for me? And they said, you bet we will. So I structured a business and I became a broker. I essentially brokered the deal. But I handled it again from start to finish. Data processing, printing, letter shop services, delivery to the post office. And consequently, they would do the work. I would monitor or manage the work, and just make a profit from it. So back in those days, once I was a C corporation, I had an accountant say to me, you're making way too much money. You better save some of it because the government's going to take it. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. What do I need to do? And he said, well, you should definitely look at doing it. You're a single employee, so you do a single employee pension plan. Put a chunk of money away, pre-tax, and you'll be happy you did. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
So you listen to your advisor?
Right.
All right.
So having people, who know what they're talking. That's not what I do. Yep. I make the money. I don't know how to say it, Well,
I can help you with that in your retirement. All right. Last segment here will be some rapid fire questions. Okay. All right. So favorite Blue Ridge Adventure Group destination?
It's going to be Iceland. The reason is Iceland's not like visiting a different country. It's like visiting a different planet.
Okay. Best purchase under $100?
A decent lightweight backpack.
Okay. One financial habit everyone should learn?
Take your, whatever your earnings are, start saving, whether it's $1 or $10, whatever you can afford. The earlier you begin, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
Awesome. Biggest mistake people make with their money?
They spend more than they make.
Is your dream adventure still left on the list?
Well, I hope to fulfill it soon. Last year, over New Year's, I was in Nevada, and we did Red Rocks, and we did Valley of Fire State Park, but I didn't get as far as Zion. So every time the algorithms, on some of the social media sites know that I want to go, and they're constantly showing me images. Yeah. So Zion is on my bucket list or hit list. I call it a hit list for early next year.
Okay, last question. Coffee by the campfire or hotel luxury suite?
Oh, yeah, I don't sleep on the ground. I'm not a camper. I would say hotel.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. If you like what you heard, I guess like and subscribe. That'll pretty much wrap us up for today. Thank you, Robert, for
Hey, thanks for
joining us
having me.
today. Mike, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for letting me listen.
And we'll see you next time.